Have you seen Peak Fiction? A manga that in just one chapter makes even Oda seem like an amateur writer. A manga so good, it sells 300 kagurilion dollars before it's even officially out. A manga so fire that it's now eligible to win Anime of the Year, Game of the Year, Live Action Series of the Year, and even Movie of the Year, all with just one chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, Peak is here. Okay, but seriously, I saw the initial memes and for a second I thought it might be the one, and look, I'll be honest, it's alright. More than alright, it's good. But really, I was expecting something as hype as Bible the anime, but that's on me. So what is Kagurabachi? It's a manga. Were you not listening? It's a revenge manga. Revenge for what? Well, that's not... It's clear, but they don't actually tell us. Even the summary says, young Chihiro spends his days training under his famous swordsmith father. One day, he hopes to become a great sword maker himself. The goofy father and the serious son. They thought these days would last forever, but suddenly tragedy strikes. A dark day soaked in blood. Chihiro and his blade now live only for revenge. Epic sword battle action, which be more vague, challenge, impossible difficulty. So okay, I opened the first page and it's a pretty beautiful colored page of the main character and his pops forging a blade. We get a pretty quick Cliff Notes guide on the forging of blades, and that's cool. I guess I'll use that the next time I forge a blade. Then the next page is them talking, and the art so far is pretty good. I'm not really good at comparing things, but it looks to me like a more cleaner line art version of the Jujutsu Kaisen art style, and that's pretty neat. Literally. We see that Chihiro's dad is the one who acts more like a shonen protagonist, aka the goofy dad, and that's always a novel twist to the normal formula. And the next pages are basically establishing their relationship. But then we hit page 5 and I realize young Chihiro has my haircut. Neat. Then a bunch more establishing his dad, and this other guy's character happens before we eventually cut to a 38-month time skip. Already? Those guys are probably just sleeping, right? Turns out we're now in this city being terrorized by these Yakuza guys led by the Lorax and also sorcerers. I thought we were just forging swords here. Then we transition to Chihiro on a train with his dad's friend, and bummer, it looks like he ditched the hairstyle and got a scar. Oh, and from what I could tell, it looks like his dad's metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, apparently. That's about how vague the story is about the situation, because we only get a panel where he describes how each day he starts the morning with fresh hatred. Presumably to sort out online, and well, can you blame him? The rest of the things that happen is pretty normal Shounen Manga chapter 1 stuff, where he inadvertently saves a character who might just end up becoming a main character. He saves them from these Yakuza dudes, and he uses his sword goldfish powers, and it's great. I'm interested by why they're so vague about some of his motivation and where the story could be headed with all this magic goldfish sword stuff and the sorcery. But there's also the fact that there's so many revenge stories in manga that I'm pretty excited to see what the author Takeru Hakazono does to distinguish this from any other revenge story. Of course, I would not have found out about this manga had it not been for the memes, which have been immaculate. Each one I see is better than the next, but also the fact that I read this manga from chapter 1 scares me, because the last time I read a manga from chapter 1 was Phantom Seer. And that was an awesome read that Shueisha just cancelled mid-arc at like chapter 30 for, I want to say, no reason. I'm still bitter about it, so don't ask any questions about it. This one seems to have more traction around its completely and legitimately, definitely not prematurely leaked release. So I think it'll do just fine, as long as most of its potential readers weren't present at Gold Roger's execution. I hope the best for it, at least, because it's a very good read. Of course, my opinion is subjective, so if you're sure it's peak fiction, then I don't mind you telling me in the comments section. Right now, actually.